Hey, what's up YouTube? King James here. With the Cold War guns, there seems to be a lot of confusion around the grips. There's the Field Agent or Spetsnaz grip, depending on whether you're using a tactical rifle or an AR. They both say vertical and horizontal recoil control. But then there's the Bruiser Grip, which just says melee quickness. But if you've tried it, you've noticed it does something to recoil, but you're not quite sure what. So there seems to be some stats on that grip that are definitely hidden, like we've seen in a whole bunch of other attachments, like that titanium barrel where it had tons of bullet velocity. So I've had a bunch of people comment on my videos lately. Don Olson, is there any hidden stats on the Bruiser Grip? Bicentennials Roman, does the Bruiser Grip give you recoil control? And Han Jovi, try the melee quickness under barrel. So the Bruiser is talking about. They've all tried it and definitely noticed that something's happening. So I tested both back to back, and I have a ton of video that I can show you on the difference between the two underbarrels. And I'm going to show you right now. Just before I jump into some of the comparison between the two grips, I want to say thank you to everybody who's recently subbed to the channel and is here watching my videos. I really appreciate all the love and support. The kind comments you guys are putting in the comment section and all the thumbs up you guys are giving on the videos. I really do appreciate that, guys. So thank you very much, sincerely. And if you're here and you learn something new on my videos and you appreciate my content, hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button because it really does help small content creators like myself. All right, let me show you the difference between the two grips in game and what they say, and then some side-by-side video of the difference. So have a look at it on the M16. Right here, Field Agent foregrip, horizontal and vertical recoil control. We know this works. However, the Bruiser Grip you see here just says melee quickness, and down here it shows mobility. Now you can't always trust what you see here, but you certainly can test it, which is what I did. So here's the DMR with the Field Agent versus the Bruiser. I'll go ahead and play this. The Field Agent is here on the left and the Bruiser is on the right. And as I watch this video, the recoil and everything seems to be the same. I don't really notice too much difference on this. And I'm going to run up to the wall here and have a quick look at the pattern. And you can see here as I get closer to the wall, the pattern on the wall here and here pretty well look exactly the same. So let me try the M16 and the AUG and see if I can notice any difference on those. So here's the M16, and I did the same thing. I just shot a whole bunch up against the wall, and then I ran up and had a look. And this is Field Agent versus Bruiser, the exact same thing here. I'll just fast forward it, and you can have a look at the wall, and I noticed it was pretty well the same, and I did the AUG, and it was the exact same thing too. So I decided maybe I need to change how I test a little bit and just do bursts in individual lines and see if that works. So let me pull an image up real quick and show that to you. So have a look at this picture right here. On the left here, this is the Field Agent, and on the right is the Bruiser. And I can see here, this is on the M16 and the AUG. And the DMR, it really didn't seem to make any difference at all. So I don't think I'd still run the Field Agent on the DMR. But on the M16 and the AUG, it's a little different. I can see here that the spread is actually tighter on these ones. And the AUG, it sort of looks like it was better on some of the shots and other ones not so much. But on the M16, it definitely looks like it's better. And I think they're calling about a 10% improvement. And I'm pretty sure I can see that here on how tight these are versus over here with the Field Agent. So on the M16, I think it works. On the AUG, I don't know, jury's out. Maybe you can try it and hit me up in the comment section and let me know whether you think it works. The DMR, it doesn't work. But the M16, which I've been using quite a bit lately, it looks like it is working. So let me show you on some of the ARs. It's a little bit more conclusive. So this is the Groza and the AK. And again, on the left here is the Field Agent, or the Spetsnaz, as they call it on the assault rifles. And on the right is the Bruiser. So I'm going to shoot the Groza up the wall, and then I'm going to pull the AK, and I'm going to shoot it up the wall. And you can see how much extra recoil the AK has over the Groza. And then I'm going to run up to the wall, and we'll have a quick look at the patterns. Let me fast forward it there. So get up to the patterns and have a look, and look at the Groza. You can definitely see, this is the 6th brick, and you can see that sort of S-shaped pattern. And here, it's definitely lower. It's almost a full brick lower. But the AK, which has this like bizarre pattern, it's still getting way up into the shaded part. So I'm not sure the Bruiser Grip is doing anything for the AK, but definitely on the Groza, it's tighter and shorter. So you're certainly getting some recoil control from the Bruiser Grip on the Groza. So let me show you the KRIG and the FFAR. So same thing right here for the KRIG and the FFAR. Got the Spetsnaz on the left, the Bruiser on the right, and I shoot them up. And then I flip to the other gun. Let's see, I go over, and then, yeah, here's the FFAR. This is going to be a popular one here. And you can see the recoil and how high it goes. Now, let me pause it here and run up to the wall. Now, look at the difference. So on the left here, you can see the Spetsnaz. Look at how high the KRIG got. It got above about the 5th brick. We're down here. It's only partway into the 4th brick. And then you look at the FFAR. It's way above the shaded part here, but the Bruiser, it's only barely above it. So you're getting that 10% recoil reduction on both the KRIG and the FFAR using the Bruiser Grip. So that leaves us with the last thing about the Bruiser Grip. Do you really get extra mobility? It shows a pretty solid mobility increase right here. What is that, like 15% or so? So I tested it with the two of them side by side, and let me show you that. All right, so here's the clip of me running, and I picked the same spot beside a house, and I run to this tree down here. It's about 43 meters away. I'll go ahead and play it, and you can see I take off. Here's the field agent on the left and the Bruiser on the right. And you can see there the tactical sprint ended at the same time, and I reached the tree at exactly the same time. So there's clearly no increase in mobility at all. So then if I go back and look at the grips real quick, this extra bar right here you see from the mobility, you're clearly not getting it. So what are you getting on the Bruiser Grip? You're getting vertical recoil control. One thing that I did notice is that you don't get horizontal recoil control like you do with the field agent. So that's how far the bullets spread left to right versus up and down. So let me show you a quick snapshot of some of the patterns together, and you can see what I'm talking about. So what I really noticed the most was on the assault rifles. And if you have a look, here's the field agent. You can see here, see how it's pretty tight? The line is straight. We're over here. It actually moves a little bit more. This is the horizontal recoil control. It's how far they spread out left to right. And then if you look over here on the field agent here on the FFAR, you see the line is definitely straighter. It's taller, but it's definitely straighter. Where here it goes out a little bit more and it goes out here again and it's just a bit more wiggly. So you can definitely see the Bruiser's not giving you that horizontal recoil control, but it's certainly giving you the vertical. And I think the vertical is what we all seem to fight with the most. So especially on some of these like fast shooting ones, the lower recoil vertical, because when we're shooting, we tend to all just sort of pull down a little bit. When you get a nice straight line, like what you're getting on the Bruiser where it's straighter, you're going to have less to fight by just pulling down as opposed to having to like, wiggle your thumb back and forth, which I don't think most of us do. Let's also look at the Groza and the AK. So here's the Groza and the AK, and you can see it's sort of the same thing. You see here on the Groza, it's got this big whoop-de-doo out here on the left, where it's a lot more pronounced. It doesn't climb the wall as high, but it is more pronounced. So you certainly don't get quite as much vertical. So on the Groza, you're still gonna have to pull down and do a little bit of manipulation, and that's just because the Groza's got such a bizarre pattern. And on the AK, you can see here on the Bruiser, it kind of goes over and then up, where this one's almost pretty well straight line, except for this like weird thing that happens in the center on both of them. But you can see the line, notwithstanding that, it's pretty well straight on the field agent. Where on the Bruiser, you end up getting this big thing going over to the side. So yeah, you definitely get more vertical control, but you lose the horizontal control. All right, so what's the final word? Well, I think the Bruiser Grip gives more vertical recoil control, but it loses the horizontal a tiny bit. And in my opinion, on the assault rifles, I definitely would be running the Bruiser. So on the FFAR, the KRIG, and the Groza, yeah, I think I definitely run it. The AK, I don't know. The thing didn't seem to make any difference regardless of what I did. On the tactical rifles, the DMR, I couldn't tell any difference. The DMR doesn't really seem, because it's not a burst weapon, it doesn't seem like it has any difference on the horizontal and vertical recoil control, especially with the way they've sort of nerfed the gun. But on the M16, it definitely had a tighter, so I would absolutely use it on that. And on the AUG, I wasn't sure. The results were sort of inconsistent for me. So if you're using it and you think it's working, hit me up in the comments section and let me know your thoughts. Was it working on the AUG or not working on the AUG? I don't know. For me, the jury's out on that one. So I'd love to hear your opinion. So hit me up down below. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's the test. Let me know if you have any thoughts or comments, or whether you've tried it on some other guns that I missed, and whether it's worked for you really well or not, or you have another grip that seems to be doing something else that it's not supposed to. Hit me up in the comments section down below. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, guys, if you don't see me in Warzone, if you don't see me in multiplayer, it's only a matter of time, baby. King James out.